What's up, everybody? As you may know, a few days ago, I was just fishing locally and I saw a shark, which was pretty cool. And I really appreciate all the positive comments, people that said, that was cool to see. What a beautiful creature, that type of thing. Awesome. Few troll comments as well, like, what are you going to post? A pigeon in a tree? No, I think it was a sparrow in a tree. Pretty funny, but yeah, don't think it really compares, obviously. And yeah, there's been a lot of talk about whether or not it's a great white or a bronze whaler or a mako or a dolphin. Um, I reckon maybe like added, there's been like 500 views, 500,000 views on the video on a couple of different platforms. And maybe say added 20 comments, maybe one will say a dolphin, maybe two will say a dolphin actually. A few people did. And then there's like, oh, it's a bull shark, it's a mako. Maybe like five people say it's a bronze whaler, and then the rest of them agree that it is a white pointer, great white. Yeah, so basically, this is where I was the other day, just on the dock here at the breakwater. It was like 2 o'clock Friday Arvo. I was down here. I was just fishing off the boat ramp jetty just over there. Second cast, caught a fish, beautiful. And then the bite went quiet for about 20 minutes. Super windy, windier than it is now. It's always damn windy here. So I thought, yeah, I'll come over to the dock. I can cast over to, sort of an area where I thought I would get a fish. Maybe spent like 15, 20 minutes, no bites. And then I think I was around about just here when I was reeling in my line and roller clip. Whoa, whoa, look at the shark. Holy crap, look at that. Yeah, so that was pretty incredible. At first, I just saw the big black cloud and thought, what is that, a wee bit? And then, whoa, I saw the silhouette. Man, that's a shark. There was only me and one other guy that was walking along the top here. He was actually at those stairs, I think. Look at that. Hey, mate, check out the shark. It's huge. Right there. So yeah, I was probably standing around about here when it happened. Maybe I was standing maybe right here. And then yeah, he came and checked it out, and he's like, oh, it's got to be 4 meters or something. That's why I put great white shark 4 meters question mark.
You get the front legs. It's more like 4.
Yeah. He was the one who said, oh, it's a great white shark at the start. I'm no shark expert. Been doing a little bit of research though. And I do think probably 70% convinced that it was a great white shark. But yeah, I don't think it was 4 meters. Initially, I thought it's probably 3, maybe like 10 foot, maybe a little bit more. If I was to, if someone was to put a gun to my head and say, you need to guess the size within, say, plus minus 20 centimeters, I would probably say 3.2. So, maybe could be 3.4 or maybe could be 3. Maybe I reckon 3.2 would be a pretty safe bet. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I'm really stoked to have seen it. Definitely made up for the slow day of fishing. I mean, I only came out here to kill a little bit of time. We got a new reel that I test. This channel is basically a budget fishing tackle review channel for the most part. So yeah, that well and truly made up for it. That awesome sighting. Some people were saying it's 2 meters, and some people were agreeing it's 4 meters. With the GoPro camera, it does kind of throw off the sizing. And the initial post that I did, I actually edited the colors in a way just to get the silhouette of it to pop more against the water, because obviously it's the water's got a little bit of chop on it, so just to get that better definition between the silhouette of the shark and the water, I changed the color a bit, and it did give it sort of like a bit of a red tinge. or a coppery kind of color. So I think maybe half the people that said it's a bronze whale maybe were sort of put off by that, which is understandable. But from what I understand, is it a dolphin? Definitely not. Didn't have a bill for starters, and I'm pretty sure that dolphins don't really swim like that. Like it's just cruising like that at a slow speed. Um, yeah, the nose was definitely pointy. There was definitely a distinct color difference between the top and the bottom. When I saw it initially, it it seemed dark gray to me, and the underside, the belly, I've had a look at the video. I didn't really notice it in real time because I was, it was like 2 meters out from the water here. But yeah, after looking at the video, I'd say it had a pretty light colored belly. But yeah, pretty much what happened was, um, when I saw it, it started going up this direction, and it probably went out to say that red buoy there, a little bit further than that. So probably around about uh, halfway to 2/3 of the way. I actually had to be somewhere, so I left. I walked down there with the other guy, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I got to go." And he's like, "Yeah, thanks for pointing it out to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." So yeah, I started to do that, and then I think I got to these steps, and then he yelled out, "It's turning around," or something like that. So I ran back there, and then probably where that blue boat is over there. It's kind of hard to line up where my finger is and stuff, but yeah, I ran back up there, and then we walked together, and we followed it. It like swum between, say, the red buoy and the two white buoys there, so say like 20 meters out, and then it went all the way down here, and then maybe it got to this kind of area. I know it definitely, that yellow buoy there, it was definitely on this side of it, came up to here, and it chucked a Yui. And then the bloke was standing up here, and I came down here to try and get a better video. And yeah, and it came super close. I reckon maybe around about there where the dock kicks back in, it more or less was about 2 meters away from the dock, and then pretty much swam parallel all the way down. So yeah, if I was to say what it was, I'm going to put my money on something like a 3.2 meter great white. And I did get a couple of messages from some people I didn't know. One of them happened to be the Coast Guard, and he said that if you do see that, you're meant to call 000 straight away. So I didn't know that. But yeah, just just to tell you guys, we're meant to call 000 if we see a shark in an area where people swim. People still swim here in the winter. I'm pretty certain. You know, there's the beach right there. Kids jump off here in the summer and stuff like that. So yeah, you meant to call them. And there was a few troll comments like, I don't know, like, "Oh, what are we meant to do? Call the police? Wow, a shark in the ocean," stuff like that. But yeah, two of the comments that stuck with me. One guy said he was an ab diver at is it Lady Julia Percy Island, which is not too far away from here, and he said he would never swim across Lady Bay. So what does that say? That's pretty crazy. And another guy said he had a 3.6 meter tinny, I believe, and he launched off Warrnambool and saw a shark that he thinks was double the size of his boat. However big it was, it's got to be big. And he hasn't gone out fishing since, so that is pretty crazy. There must be a lot of, a lot of sharks out here for people to say that. Anyway, it was super cool to see. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you next time.